Hello and welcome to the Bill with Baer Workshop. It's a special early Saturday stream, and there are not many of you right now, which is fine. But we are going to wait a little bit, see if a few more folks want to pop in as we start working on this Lego set. The Lego 3-in-1. It's boat day. We've got some of the boat done. We're going to keep working on the boat. Hey, if you're watching right now and you're here live with me and you want to throw the Bear Cave emote or the Lego emote, if you're a subscriber, you can do that. Let me know you're here. You don't have to, but you're always welcome to throw the emotes in. A reminder, you don't have to chat, but you can, and it's nice. It's nice for me to see you out there writing some words in there, and with the old Twitter redesign, it's I'm not having any problems reading chat. So, Infamous asks, "What's good, Pat?" And just living my life, doing my thing. Um, as mentioned, this is an early stream. I picked up a shift at the theater that I work part time at, which is great because uh, they're going dark tomorrow for like 2 weeks. So my normal shift on Sunday isn't happening. So I picked up a shift tonight. So a little bit extra money in my pocket. That does mean that we are streaming early. Um, I was going to, instead of streaming early today, just stream tomorrow. But I figured a couple hours early was better than a different day, because I know that some people, do keep my schedule in mind when they're planning their weekends. Um, Also, I haven't had a Sunday night off in quite some time, and I'm going to take advantage of that tomorrow and go do a thing tomorrow night. Instead of going to work, I'm going to go do a thing. It'll be fun. I'm going to drink some water. I talked a lot today. I'll say that. As we're in the pre show, just kind of chatting and seeing what's up, I'll let you know that I was interviewed today by a college student for their class on social media and there's something or other. Not social media. I think it's just media class. But they wanted to talk to a streamer, and the teacher is an old friend of mine, and was like, "Well, he doesn't really stream that many video games, but he does stream on Twitch, and like, is an affiliate." And they were like, "Yes, I want to talk to them." So I talked to this person, and it was fun. Um, Vincent, if you're out there, shout outs to you. Um, which was really nice. We talked about streaming and how I got into it and why I got into it and all kinds of stuff. We talked about even like technical stuff like OBS. I talked about how I do my streams and how I make that work, and uh, it was good. It was a nice chat. Like I said, we are going to get to building, but this might be a lightly attended stream, and that's okay. I particularly wanted to stream tonight because, as I said, my schedule next week is not great. Um, it is a bit all over the place, which I do apologize for. But that is unfortunately the situation. Uh, Next week I will keep my times right, but my days will be off. So 2 nights from now, Monday, normal stream, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Normal Monday. Then Wednesday, build stream, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Then Sunday, build stream. So not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, I will stream. All 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., all the normal times, just different days, because it's New York Comic Con next week. And I am working Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of New York Comic Con. Then on Sunday, I will go to New York Comic Con, actually see the show, and buy a model kit. I might have a friend pick me up something and save it at their booth. Um, I am working off-site at the Hammerstein Ballroom, which is part of the convention, but not in the convention center. It's kind of like how Penny Arcade, PAX West, takes over different hotels beyond the show floor. We go and do, or New York Comic Con does panels in other spaces, including Hammerstein. I did find out that some very cool people are going to be at the theater throughout that weekend, so I'm excited about that. And some people I know. Hopefully, I can see Baron Vaughn. He's hosting the Sci-Fi Great Debate, part of Sci-Fi's Wired thing. Baron is an old friend I haven't not seen in quite some time, so I'm hopefully going to see Baron, and a few other fine folks will be there as well. I'm going to retweet my tweet to see if we can get a few more bodies here in the chat, a few more people viewing. Uh, oh, that's talking about numbers. I'll just say this, folks, because whatever. I'm not going to tweet about it. Probably, I might eventually. Uh, I broke 7,000 Twitter followers around PAX West, and those I've lost a few. Some of those people may, be bots or whatever, or things that are just people that are not interested in anymore, or closed accounts. But that's a bummer. I'm below 7,000 again. Uh, I'll have to work to get over that. Uh, all right. And now I'm going to retweet my tweet. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's a little bit of a bummer. Liked being over 7,000. Now I'm less. Uh, about to start building. That's right, about to start building. But yeah, I did that interview today, and that was fun. That was a cool chance to talk to a young person about streaming and have a conversation about that. Made me feel good to do that. Um, and I'm going to work tonight, as I said, so I also prepped a little bit for the show that I'm working on tonight. And I managed to watch some anime, which I'll talk about later in the second hour, or second half, including the Mob Psycho OVA, which I can report is good. Season 2 OVA is good. It felt like a very good season 1 episode and a pretty good season 2 episode, because even season 2 was so phenomenal that it's hard to be like, it doesn't stand up. But as an OVA, it did not make me furious or like the show less, which a lot of times OVAs totally do. Uh, so that's awesome. I was so psyched that it was not to the point where I was like, no, no thanks, I don't want to do this anymore. Um, so that's always nice. Uh, when you're just like, oh, this didn't make me hate the thing I like. All right, let's get to building. Maybe this is going to be a low attended stream. That's okay. Uh, if chat isn't popping off, that's okay. If the numbers are low, that's all right. Um, I didn't get into this to have 100 viewers and a chat going by in a blink of an eye. I got into this because I wanted to build model kits and talk about anime, and I'm going to do that. And if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, or on VOD after the fact here on Twitch, hi. To you, this is normal, because it is not an interactive show for you. For people watching live, this is certainly meant to be interactive, and I hope that you enjoy the interactions. This is the Lego Racer 3-in-1. We already built the main car, but then we broke it down. Now we're building the boat. Then we'll break that down, and then we'll build the other car. Are there differences between that first car and this car? Yes. I don't know what they are, but there are differences. Just, Asmo said, Tier 1, 17 months. Let's throw the Bear Cave emote in there. We are small but mighty today, but we can at least, if you're a subscriber, throw that in there. I can do it, Asmo. Asmo, thank you for resubbing, saying, I'm here to start for a change. Heck yeah, you are. I'm also early, so I'm happy you're here. And Infamous said, I'm here. This might be quiet. Getting some good weekend gaming in with my son. Hey, that sounds rad. I'm glad you got some time with your son, getting some gaming time in. That sounds awesome. I'm very happy about that. I hope you enjoy hearing me build Lego and talking about Lego and stuff that's going on with me. All right, so that goes there. That goes there. Asmo, again, thank you very much for resubbing. Reminder to folks that if you are a sub and you use Twitch Prime, you got to manually renew that. And if you're Tier 1, you don't have to manually renew, but you can hit that notification button so I know that you've renewed your subscription, and that makes me happy to know. All right. And then we got to put those on. And then 2 orange. Yeah, so we're building a boat here. I've mentioned this before, and y'all know, uh, when working on these kind of kits, I'm kind of been excited about them lately because these three-in-ones take a little while to build because you gotta build it up, tear it down. You're building it 3 times. I like that. Um, you know, times are tough. I do. I have been told that something's coming in the mail for me to build. I'm excited about that. Right now, I am currently at my lowest in build in my backlog. I've got I've got go tanks. I've got go tanks to build, including the ghosts. They're the ghost ability, which is very fun. And that's it. I will be buying something near Comic Con. I don't know what yet, but yeah, if things come in from the mail of my wish list, that would be rad because then I will have things to build. Hello, Christian. Welcome. Thanks for coming. I know I'm at an earlier time than normal. Appreciate you being here. Uh, but yeah, the job I'm going to be doing near Comic Con will throw in some cash my way, and then also I will get a Patreon payment on the first. I will be buying something with that. Or, most likely, I'll be paying down my Amazon Prime credit card and then using the money I put on that card to buy model kits because then I get bonus points to use. I get Amazon points for that. That is often what I'm doing when I'm paying down that card is then paying it down and then using it. Mr. Bob is here. What's up, Mr. Bob? Happy to have you here on stream. Thanks for throwing those emotes in. Always a pleasure, my friend. Happy you're here. Yeah, just working on this Lego set. Like, there's not a lot to say about this. As I said, the fact that it's a race car, a boat, and then another kind of racing vehicle, there's obviously differences there. I don't know them, but I do know they exist. But mostly, I'm just excited to work on something a little different. So that's why we're doing the boat second. And then the third car should be the one that fits in the box the best because it doesn't have a roof. So it seems a little lower to the ground and maybe a little wider. So it should fit back in the box without me having to take parts off. And if it doesn't, then I'll just tear it down and build it as the boat again off stream. I'll say this. I mentioned this on Thursday. I am putting a show that I do on hiatus. One of my YouTube shows, Closer Look. The last Closer Look I put up was my PAX West trip vlog. And I enjoy doing, I enjoy the vlog stuff, and so that I'll keep doing when I go to conventions. But I enjoy doing Closer Look. I've kind of run out of things that I want to talk about. So I'm going to put it on hiatus so that I can possibly stockpile some ideas and bring it back. And in its place, I'm going to be doing a new show that will debut on Monday. It'll debut on Sunday if you're a Patreon subscriber at the $5 or $10 level. You don't have to be. You never have to do any of this. You never have to do any of that stuff. But they will get a day early because that's how things work with me. But I'm starting a new series, and I'll talk about it because why the fuck not? Talk about it here on stream. There's not a lot of people watching this, and then people will be watching it on Sunday on the VOD or on the YouTube archive, perhaps. But yeah, let's talk about the new thing, the new project that we're working on. It is a YouTube show, and it is called Pat Baer's Anime Club. While it is not a clever name, it is incredibly descriptive. And that's what I was going for. I was going for a descriptive name more than a clever name. I want people to see the name. I want people to get suggested Pat Baer's Anime Club and be like, I know what that is. I'm going to check this out. So Pat Baer's Anime Club will happen every other Monday. And it will be 15 minutes to an hour. I don't know how long. But it will be me talking about stuff. Some of the stuff that I talk about here on the stream that you would, if you wanted to find just that talk, would be hard. Maybe some stuff like a chance to really collect my thoughts and write a script. A lot of it will be just kind of off the cuff discussion, but the first episode, at the very least, like I planned out what I was going to talk about and what I was thinking about. Lashbrook is here. What's up, Lashbrook? Thanks for throwing the emote in there. Let me know you're here. We just got a little bit of an influx of folks. Welcome, welcome. We're building a boat out of Lego, following instructions on our 3-in-1 here. Happy to have you here on the stream as we boat build. And yeah, talking about this new project. So yeah, it'll come out on Monday, and it has, nothing to do with building at all. It is a place for me to keep a lot of my anime thoughts that, of course, will always come up in conversation because I'm going to talk about the stuff I want to talk about. But I felt like having a place to put them on YouTube was a good idea. And I will be able to, I go in depth a little bit in my preview. The first episode, to let you know, which goes out on Monday, is me talking about the shows that are coming out for the new anime season that I'm excited about. It's not all the shows that are coming out, because there are certainly shows that I'm not going to watch. Hey, Epic Open World, happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that comes out that, I talk about literally 14 shows that are starting in the first 2 weeks of October that I'm going to be watching. Now, obviously not all of them come out next week, but the week after that, a lot of them come out. And I'm going to watch a lot of them, if not all of them. And some I'll drop off, some of the new shows. But yeah, I would have been on sooner, but it was real hard to get off the couch. Been burning so much energy at work lately. Lashbrook, I totally understand. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, sometimes on a Saturday, like a Saturday afternoon, heck, on just a day where you didn't have to, sometimes doing anything, right? It's just like, what if instead I didn't? I get that vibe. I get that feeling. Totally fine. Happy to have you here now. So that's a new show. It's just me talking about anime stuff that I'm into. I am planning on doing it's topic based, so that's going to be the idea. Like, I think the first episode is going to be, first episode is preview of new shows coming out that I'm excited about, and then I think my second episode is going to be like immediate thoughts, my favorite new shows, the ones that I don't know if I'll give an episode 2 to, or I think I'm going to drop if they don't pick up, and that kind of thing. And then from there are topics I want to have, right? Maybe I will do an interview. Maybe I'll do an interview via like Discord or Skype, or Google Hangout, and interview someone for the show. Maybe I'll do something where I talk to somebody in person, go do a shoot on location, talk about a topic. A topic I really want to talk about is on stream. Not on stream, because one that I feel uncomfortable necessarily talking about on stream, but want to talk about with someone who knows more about it is apparently there is a Sherlock Holmes show coming out in anime that is like, what if Sherlock Holmes had like a bunch of friends and they were like young, pretty boys, and Mrs. Hudson, they lived in the bar that Mrs. Hudson ran, but Mrs. Hudson is a gentleman that dresses like a woman and makes Sherlock very uncomfortable. And what if it didn't fucking do that, and instead was something that I was interested in? I was very helpful that it told me that I don't want to watch the show. But I want to talk about Japan's obsession with aggressively flamboyant gay characters who exist only for the uncomfortable humor of them hitting on the protagonist. I want to talk about that stuff. I want to talk about how for every zombie saga there's a dozen Sherlock Holmeses. And what shows get it right? You know, and why does it seem like uh, uh, there are so many examples of that? That's like a topic I'd like to do, but I don't want to just tackle that on my own. I want to like talk to people who, either have studied this or talk about it more or come from a different way. Like I had issues talking about uh, the gay character who was presenting himself as female, uh, but the joke was that he was male, and many people didn't know, and that was a joke in Demon Slayer Retry, and it's like this is just a fucking bummer. There's in many ways this is like totally whatever, but the fact that there's a character that keeps misidentifying him, and that's the joke. It's like it's fucking gross. Uh, but like that's like literally a thing I want to talk about on the show, and that I'm not gonna shy away from. But I don't. I want to do it. I want to be thoughtful and approach these things with the respect they deserve. Uh, Christian says, spoiler alert: Japan is pretty homophobic. Certainly, and that's a lot of it, right? And a lot of it's internalized, and a lot of it um, uh, is that thing of like for every show like Given, there are a bunch of examples of it handled poorly. For every show that like treats it like that, and the rise of boys love, and the fan devoted fan base it has, uh, means that in many ways the fair treatment of uh, queer characters in manga and anime is commercially based because they know that it's profitable. I think a show like Given is really great, but I don't know if Given exists in a like. But there aren't a lot of Givens out there, and so that's a thing that like I'd like to discuss and be thoughtful about on the series that I'm going to do. And then there'll be like I said, light art stuff, like stuff to where I'm just like do his thing on a show that I think not enough people like. What like give you like episode 5, please watch this show, and like talk about a show that I think is being like is a hidden gem, like a hidden gems episode. I think would be interesting. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna, where the show's gonna go, or how much I'm gonna do it, or if if it's a short-term project, long-term project. But it is a thing that I like to start doing. So I'm gonna give that a shot. Because yeah, I was sitting there trying to think of what to do for the next closer look, which would have come out on Monday. On Thursday, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't have anything that I really want to do. I didn't have a video that I wanted to make for it, so that seemed like a bad sign. That if I didn't have something that I wanted to do with it, then maybe I shouldn't do it. So, uh, but there might come a time where I do another closer look. I'm not saying that that series is done. There might be something that I make that I'm like, I want to make a video about this. Oh, that's definitely a closer look video. So I think it'll just be a thing that I make when I am interested in making a video like that, rather than, oh, it's 2 weeks. Because honestly, like me turning the my PAX West vlog into a closer look, like that's not a closer look. That's a stretch. That's because I didn't have any ideas, and I needed to have something. So I was like, well, this will work. Like that's very clearly like me just being like, the closer look video. That's what it is. All right. So we're putting some sides on our boat here. Uh, like I said at the top of the stream, I had a fun day today. I got interviewed. A former Harmonix employee is teaching a course, and reached out to see if one of their students could interview me, and I said, "Heck yeah!" And just we talked for an hour about streaming. There is some news out of TwitchCon that is, I would say, pretty positive about some of the changes they're going to be making here on Twitch that I'm pretty excited about. Um, while as you know, I do not have moderators on this channel. Um, they are doing some tools to make moderators' jobs easier in some of the new layouts that are coming, and that sounds great. Someday, who knows, I might be big enough to warrant having moderators, and having them have options sounds good. Um, Hopefully, that will be beneficial to those folks. There are a few other. Oh, that's cool. I like that. In there. There's some other changes. Um, there's some dashboard changes which could be interesting. Um, a big one that will theoretically affect this channel. I don't know if it will, but it might affect this channel. Is some of y'all see ads, and if you do see ads on before my stream starts, they don't benefit me at all. Affiliates do not receive any portion of any ad revenue. I do receive money when you do bits and coins. I do receive money when you subscribe, but I don't receive anything for ads that are shown. That's changing. I'm going to start seeing a little bit of money for ads. They're also going to roll picture-in-picture ads which I think is just um, for users that aren't me, that are partners. I have to read some more of it, but the idea that before the stream starts, if there's an ad and you watch that ad, I get a little bit of that. I like that. Hopefully, that will turn into another little bit of revenue for me. I don't know. I gotta read that closely. Uh, that's pretty cool. I want to go and see what else was there. That was the big one. Very funny. I'm trying to go to Twitch's YouTube or Twitch's Twitter, and when I went to search for it, I just got at TwitchCon. I just got all the people I follow and chat with that are at TwitchCon. All right, but cosplayers, blah blah. I want to see if there's any other Andes and moments. That's fun. It's really weird that during their keynote opening ceremony thing, during their ceremony, they made an affiliate partner live. That's real weird. It's a real weird way to do it. TwitchCon next year is going to be basically this same weekend in San Diego again. That's cool. That's good for them. They're going to be in Amsterdam in May for TwitchCon Europe. Experienced streamers and affiliates will earn a share of ad revenue. Streamers more control. Streamers are going to apparently, and I don't know if that includes affiliates or partners, but they're going to have control over some of the pre-roll ads and like being able to say what they are, which sounds awesome because um, watch all the Totino pizza roll ads. Get pizza. Epic World, yeah. To me, if a pre-roll ad is for Totino's, that sounds great. But maybe a game whose company I have been very hesitant to support in any way, shape, or form. Maybe if they're running ads, I'll be like, I would prefer we didn't run ads for that. Or some event that involves streamers who I'm not a big fan of. Maybe I would prefer to not have those people pre-rolls in there, which is cool. Yes. Sin brings up, yeah, Totino's, sure. Chick-fil-A, yeah, probably not. I probably don't want to see a Chick-fil-A pre-roll before stuff. So if I have any say in that, that sounds pretty good. Mr. Bob brings up a very good point. I should not find it weird that someone is improving their online platform when they really don't have to. One, when they do roll out changes like this, it is generally because it's TwitchCon and they want to have big news for TwitchCon and get some fun buzz. And two, Microsoft has a lot of money. And I'm not saying that Mixer is going to take market share anytime soon, but I do think that Microsoft is going to invest a lot of money in Mixer, uh, and it won't necessarily disrupt things, but a core feature of Twitch is it's the place where streamers want to be. So they gotta do stuff to uh, really push that. They're going to unleash the Twitch community on Amsterdam. That seems like a bad idea. Well, I don't know how many partners or whatever would go to that. San Diego seems fine. They're ready for it. I'm sure Amsterdam, it'll be okay. I think it'll be all right. Uh, and for the European streamers and European viewers, I'm sure that's a fun trip. Let's see. Oh yeah. Hey, starting in October, those of you that wish that you could subscribe to streams, but you're watching on iOS on the app, you'll now be able to uh, purchase and redeem tokens, and those tokens will be for 1 month of a tier 1. So it won't be renewable. If you want to subscribe on the app, you're just subscribing for a month. It's basically like spending $5 on a token or whatever. So it's not a perfect solution, but it's better than having to go to a computer because you want to subscribe to somebody. And so that's pretty good for folks that only can use iOS. And I don't know a lot about channel points. Oh, maybe they won't feel the need to serve poured beers in Amsterdam. Yeah. They should visit San Diego and drop by a nice comic book store. Yes, Sin, I made a tweet about that, or retweeted Aaron's tweet about that. Like folks that are in San Diego, and a few folks I know went and checked it out. Those folks that know Aaron very well and went to go see Tritz's store because they were there for TwitchCon. Yes, I've heard about this was a partner party where they just poured a lot of half keg or half crafts and full crafts of beer pitchers and the like, just to make it easier for people to be able to drink, and that has a fun college vibe to it. Where that also has a fucking college vibe to it. And of course, someone got hurt. And that fucking sucks. And that's not a laughing matter. And I take that seriously. And it's a fucking bummer. And that is something that is preventable. So that's a fucking bummer. Oh, this didn't show up. I didn't hear the notification go off. But Boring K is now following. Thank you, Boring K. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Sorry I didn't notice it. It came up a couple minutes ago. I just didn't even hear it. And Epic World was talking about the Americans that are suddenly have access to things that are legal and not used to the Amsterdam life. Yeah. They go to a coffee shop and are like, why do you seem bored by me asking for these things? Yeah, who knows? I was preventable by having two folks work the table. Yes. Yeah, I think that it is the attempt by somebody to feel like, oh, it's like it's like pitchers for like beer pong, and you're like, yeah, but you're just leaving open air alcohol unattended. That's a very obvious problem. All right, our boat is done. This boat did not take long to build, so I will take a photo of this boat, and then we will break it down, and then we will rebuild it as a race car. That didn't take long at all to build a boat. We built the boat. Good boat, says Christian. Heck yeah, it is. We just take a photo of this boat. I wish this kit came with one minifig. The fact that it doesn't come with any minifigs, I think, is annoying. Because, race boat driver, race car driver, same diff. You give me a race car driver, you take the helmet off, you put a captain's hat on it. I'm a happy Pat Bear. Um, the other thing, I haven't done the research on channel points. All right, so now we're breaking this down. This was a good boat, and now it's a done boat. This boat is done. Folks that watch me do these streams are used to this. I'm just going to be removing parts and placing like pieces together. And I will use the brick separator if I have to. Channel points are customizable program coming in January. Affiliates and partners will be able to reward loyal members of their community with special perks. Now we do have there is a special thing now. I built the boat, indeed, Asmo. Community gift chest is a thing that I haven't really looked into. I want to look into it more. But basically, it's like Twitch Prime users get gifts, and sometimes we don't use those. So we could share those with other people that have Amazon Prime and maybe don't have Twitch Prime, or they don't have Twitch Prime or whatever, but they have an Amazon account. Race car is better than boat. Would rather have a race car than a boat, says Epic Open World. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I like a good boat. You all know me. I mean, I don't think I've ever made that, I've ever said that. But yeah, I like a good boat. This is a fun boat. And now I must unbuild a boat. Indeed, Asmo. I must build it. Now I must unbuild it. We gotta unbuild it. We gotta unbuild this boat. Yeah. So I don't quite know what channel points are gonna be. I think that's just like if you've been a subscriber for X number of months, you now can get a discount on this thing. Maybe it's like discounts to the Twitch store if you want to buy merch. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. I'll find out more in January. But as an affiliate, it means that some folks will be able to get some stuff of some sort because they subscribe. And that sounds great. I do my best to give y'all content, and I do my best to make things that I hopefully you all enjoy. And it's nice if there's more things I can give you. Maybe it's a more formalized internal thing to what some folks have done with Streamlabs and bots. Yeah, Sin, I'm assuming, because there's also like Stream Gifts is a program that not a lot of people are access to. It's still in pilot. But I know that there's a thing called Stream Gifts where it's a way to reward subscribers or whatever, and I'm not. And then also you can the other way you can. It's another way to have a broader wish list than Amazon for folks. But I think it might be kind of similar to that. I do not want a Twitch hoodie level. It's Epic Open World. Oh man, I remember January the first, because it was January. So the first PAX South. I took a flight to Dallas, and then it went from Dallas to San Antonio. That Dallas to San Antonio flight was, I would say, 85% purple. It was very clear that a lot of people were, changing flights there because there weren't a lot of direct flights to San Antonio that people were taking. And it was like everyone's going to PAX. It reminded me a lot of the first couple of times I went to PAX East. I would take an early bus on Friday. Take a very early bus on Friday, and that was always full of, Twitch gear and PAX clothes and lots of badges and Penny Arcade stuff, and you can always tell it's like, oh, this is the nerd bus, and that still happens. The Sunday night bus, the Sunday night train, I should say, my Sunday night train from PAX that I take every year is always full of gamers. Like the 9:30 get in at after midnight train is always a gamer train. The first PAX East I went to, the bus I took back, a dude next to me was literally because the mega bus had Wi-Fi. He was literally on 4chan on his laptop next to me, and I was like, cool. No awareness of that, huh? Great. It's 2000 whatever, 12, whatever, 10 or 14, whatever it was. I was like, yikes, dude. Fucking yikes. All right. Okay. Dude. So yeah, now we're just rooming pieces here. Yeah, so I don't, like I said, I don't know quite what's going on with channel points, but hopefully I'll get some stuff from there. Yeah, there's a new dashboard, which is great for, which will be nice. I use the Twitch dashboard when I stream. It gives me a preview of what the stream looks like, so I can match it with what's going on OBS. So that's very helpful. And then it also uh, it gives me like lots of information. Like I have a stats page, so I know how many viewers I have. I know if anyone's clipped it. I know my subscriber count. I can see that go up and down live, which is helpful. There are a few things that happen in this that I'm like. Of course, I have mod tools as well, and for chat banning and stuff like that. And it's the dashboard's pretty helpful, I will say. I don't use the desktop app. I use the dashboard just in a tab because I also have other tools I want to do. Until Twitch starts getting its shit together as far as rule enforcement, I will not rep them with clothing I am wearing. Epic Open World, that is a fine and totally reasonable and understandable step to take. I agree with you. Um, I think their community guidelines, uh, they do not want to have them. Comes from former employees from 5-10 years ago up until a year ago. Those employees make it very clear that Twitch as a company does not want to be in the job of enforcing standards. And it's a fucking nightmare. They are kicking and streaming with every attempt to be better, to serve their community better. And considering their whole fucking business is communities, you'd think that they would understand that they've got to do this job. But yeah. Enforcement of the rules, clarification of the rules, like all that stuff. It seems like they just were like, oh, this is the problem, make it go away, is their solution to everything, and that is not a solution. Uh, their enforcement is very unseen. Yes, one girl appears in workout gear and gets banned, and there comes in with pasties and body paint and mostly goes through fine as long as the paste coat is thick. Because their audience isn't, they don't have people in their chat who are reporting them in an effort to troll them for some whatever reason. They have won their audience over. Whereas a person who is dressing like Chun-Li because they are a cosplayer gets banned for dressing like Chun-Li, which does not seem to actually break any of their rules. But apparently very much did. It's a fucking really frustrating issue. But yeah. Mod enforcement, or just like rule enforcement and being clear and being concise and being accountable have been a thing they never really wanted to do. They want to be they want to be a business and be free flowing, and they can't. The problem is a lot of sites have contracted out enforcement. Yes, and certainly, yeah. They may not be handling this stuff internally. They might have a third party, which, if they do, they haven't really made clear. I got to figure out how to separate this. I'm going to move on and come back to this as we talk. Yeah, it is frustrating because it doesn't feel like you have any way of being heard unless you are a very big streamer or you go viral on Twitter and big streamers take notice. Because obviously a streamer who makes a lot of money for Twitch can get away with a lot. And I don't know if that's ever going to change, and I don't think that's just Twitch. Certainly isn't Twitch. That's YouTube. That's any number of streaming platforms and sites. Twitter, all like Twitter is a bit of a different thing because how they make money is a little different than some of the other sites. But like, yeah, it's incredibly frustrating. Twitch has to step up, or maybe Sony or Microsoft just abandoned it natively. Not that the majority of streams go native. Yeah, I mean, there were definitely like, companies, mostly Japanese companies, that were looking to like keep people from streaming, to put lockouts on platforms, and those are generally native platforming. Um, but they've certainly like wondered, but uh, Sony and Microsoft know that Twitch helps them. That knowledge of their games, their consoles can can sell games. Like they've seen it. It might not be it. It is one. It is advertising, and two, they now find there's themselves with advertisers because obviously in general. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Happy to have you here. Uh, Twitch streamers don't consider themselves journalists or think they need to have any ethics or that anything they do is wrong. So, like you're not going to find a streamer. And so a streamer might go, oh, yeah, I can play this thing as long as I don't say anything bad about it. Why would I say anything bad about it? I'm not going to tell anyone anything about this. I'm not going to disclose this part. Um, and it's, or the deal I have says that I can talk about this thing, but I can't show this, this, and this. And I can't tell you I can't show those. And I didn't sign an NDA. I signed a contract for payment and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, we're going to fucking have to deal with this at some point, eventually. I thought it was AI enforcement. That's why trolls can report someone over and over and get people banned. No one is actually looking at reports. I don't know. Uh, I know that in many companies. I'm not saying this is Twitch, but I know in many companies that deal with enforcement that use AI, they often just go, how many people reported it? Okay, ban it. We'll deal with it later. Maybe we'll hear an appeal. But also, Twitch in general feels like it doesn't have to, and many companies don't have to have an appeals process. They don't need to appeal anything because uh, because people generally are so small that it doesn't matter. They don't have to appeal a problem. I'm having a lot of trouble here, folks. I've got this piece here, and every attempt I've done to separate it has failed. I haven't tried this yet. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes that works, but um, oh, I got a little bit. I'm having to use my fingernail, which I just trimmed, so that's a problem. Uh, yeah, partially it's just business related. Why waste 30 minutes of work time for a streamer that only has less than 30 viewers? Yeah, and if they go away, then they go away. What are they gonna do? Tweet about it? You just hope that it doesn't blow up, and then if it does blow up, then you just go, that was an error, and we're so sorry about it, or you don't say anything because it blows over. Uh, yeah, look, it is not lost on me that I sent 2 tweets in a span of 10 minutes, one of which was talking about the incident that happened last night at TwitchCon with someone being roofied, uh, and how people were overreacting. It said that the person that was pointing this out was overreacting, and then the response that happened. And then 10 minutes later saying, hey, watch my stream in 2 hours in 2 hours I'm streaming on Twitch. Like, I understand. I'm not thrilled about it. Um, if, but I also know that like I am not right now in a position to switch to Mixer, which is owned by Microsoft and its own issues. I'm not in a position right now to leave Twitch and go to Mixer. Uh, and that's a bummer, but that is the reality of my situation right now. I wish that wasn't the reality of it, but that is the reality of it. I can only hope that I can continue to be the positive force that I try to be in the things that I do, and maybe help in this regard as well. And then when I have an ear to some folks, I try to use that ear as best I can. But yeah, it's really frustrating. And the hope is that then maybe healthy competition forces Twitch's hand, and they have to be a better company to survive. But I don't know. I do think that they'll never stop forgiving assholes if assholes have viewers. And from a financial standpoint, I understand it. From a standpoint of trying of hating to see assholes do well, because I hate it so much. It's frustrating. Supporting assholes makes more assholes. And indeed, you're not wrong. We talk about Wednesday, how we had a run-in on Wednesday with two people that were clearly looking at the tags, the categories on Twitch for Jackbox to come in and be assholes to make themselves feel better. Right? And maybe they were surprised that I shut them down immediately, and then went so far as to play a game where they couldn't. We played Guespionage to make it so that even if they did get into a game, they couldn't write whatever the fuck they wanted, and they seemed pretty surprised by that. Because I have no interest in that part of Twitch. I know that I could build this channel out bigger if I wanted to. I do want it to go larger. I do not want it to be a shitty time. It's just in a just decent world, certain folks should just be deplatformed. It'd be nice. You're right. It's a shame that once you get big enough for affiliate that you have to look for yourself to one platform, even though you're on the bottom rung of their paid streamers. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Lord Crashington, right? Like, if I didn't become an affiliate here, and I was just like, well, I could stream wherever because it doesn't matter because I'm just asking for donations and plugging my Patreon. But I am now, at the moment, committed to the Twitch platform because at present moment, 39 of you are subscribers, which is fucking awesome. And I'm very grateful about that and very thankful for that. But like, to say goodbye to that, to ask you to watch me on Mixer, yes, would some of you come to Mixer and watch my streams and follow me from the link from Twitch and set up your account or remember your password? Sure. Not all of you, because some of you are clicking on who that I follow on Twitch is live right now. Oh, cool. I'll watch them. And I certainly wouldn't get the new subscribers, the new people that are like searching for Lego or Gunpla. I wouldn't get those people because they're not there right now. It's not to say that I wouldn't ever consider it, but I mean, I'm just the same way that I was like, I really want Drip to be a thing because I would love to leave Patreon. I don't know if I would have left Patreon if Drip hadn't like paused to be revamped, because it's going to be revamped. And then also, Kickstarter's got a lot of shit it's got to take care of before I ever consider doing another Kickstarter project, because they need to fucking they need to stop working with a PR company so they can put out the word that it's not a bad idea that they are against unions, which is apparently what they're currently spending some of their money on. It's real great. There is that one service that lets you stream to multiple services at once, which would be a better option. That is an option, Lord Crashington. I do have the option to do that, to do multiple streams. Then I would just have 2 chats, and I could maybe start convincing people to go over. But also, I am an affiliate that does not want Twitch to revoke my affiliate. And I don't think they will do that. But I also think they would be fine doing it and knowing that it wouldn't matter to them. I don't think when I was a YouTube partner that I was blocked from putting that stuff elsewhere. So right now, and I will say this, Lord Crashington, I put up my videos before I'm supposed to on YouTube. The archives of these streams, I am supposed to wait 24 hours to put it on YouTube. That's if you follow Patrick Klepek, like his upload schedule is weird for YouTube because he is following those rules. I don't follow those rules. I should follow those rules, and I don't, because I am a small streamer. Also, my YouTube videos get such small views. If that changed, I would, especially if I made partner, I certainly would. But if that changed, I would 100% change that option. And right now, I don't. I skirt that. Because for me, getting them up a day later, the only reason they go up a day later and not as soon as possible is because I want to send them out the same day. I want to send them out the same day to my Patreon supporters. So, like, my Patreon supporters will get this video at like 9:30 tonight. And that's my way of saying thanks for supporting me on Patreon. And then everyone else can watch it tomorrow. But I might put that video up at 11 a.m. I might put that up, less than 24 hours after. I'm not supposed to, but I've also never gotten the word that I shouldn't. Yes, and also, Patrick is more of a target because, yes, certainly, 100% Epic Open World. Somebody would tell somebody, hey, this streamer puts up their videos up too early. I'm small potatoes, so I do it. Yes, and then, yes, the Nintendo. So I'll say this, for Nintendo, I'm certainly small. Now, I used to get pretty good numbers for me for my Pokemon Emerald Randomizer. I did a Pokemon Emerald Randomizer YouTube series. It wasn't a stream, it was YouTube. And I never got flagged by Nintendo. I monetized it. The most I ever got was a couple hundred hits, so I was never a blip in the radar. But I never got content ID'd for Emerald, which I was always surprised about. And I was always like, I'll monetize this because the numbers are okay. But I was always a little worried that someday it was going to come and bite me. It has not. Maybe someday I will be big enough that it will, and that would be a bummer. Certainly. All right, so working on this race car here. It's good we can get the wheels in at some point. Seems easy enough. We will take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I will talk about ways that you can subscribe and support the channel in various forms, if that's something you'd like to do. And we'll do that in a moment. I'm going to do a little more of this. And then we'll keep going here. I still get plenty of emails about content idea hits on YouTube for videos that are over 5 years old that seem like too little, too late. Yeah, Lord Gratchton, I get that now and again. So what is happening with me is, for folks that don't know, that never watched it, I had a long-running panel that I brought back at PAX West this year. I can't monetize them. I never try to monetize them. 404ing it, which is just a collection of clips of things that we talk over. And now I could, if I was part of a bigger channel, argue that I am transforming this content by discussing it. I don't argue that. Instead, I allow ads to run on my videos to be monetized. And occasionally, someone like Nintendo just says no. Like, at PAX South, Detective Pikachu, the Japanese game, the trailer had come out like that day or the day before. So we talked about it because it was like a thing to talk about. I had to take my YouTube video down, edit out that segment, and re-upload it because they were like, no one can watch this video, not even this segment. No one can watch this video at all anywhere in the world. I was like, oh, that doesn't work. I also had a thing where there was a meme where people were taking a song and putting it over the end credits of movies. Um, and I found out that that video couldn't be shown at all in Europe. So I had to put up a second version of it that was like international edition that had that clip taken out, the whole segment of the show. Those things, it is a minor reason why I took a break from that show. One, that show is a lot of work. That panel is so much work to put together to do it that I was like, maybe I don't do this anymore. And two, I can't monetize it. Whereas improvised postmortem, I can put that up on YouTube, no problem. There's no content IDs on that. I did get hit with one of them that came out with PAX East this year, where like limited ads could be run on it because of language, and I was like, oh no. And then I hit like review, and that got taken away. So somebody said, oh, that's fine, which is nice. Because I was like, oh no, it's the first 2 hours of this video being up, and some of them get thousands of views, so hopefully this will be okay. I had gameplay video of the crew get blocked in every country because of a random sound effect in the garage menus, which is great news after the time spent making it. Yeah, Lord Crashington, you should always be wary of menu music because a lot of times companies don't just use share libraries for that stuff, like the Saints Row. The wub wub dubstep sound they use, that is in a bunch of games and it gets content ID'd. And the menu music in Saints Row the fourth, Saints Row 4, or maybe the third, but definitely the fourth, 4, gets content ID'd because it's just like got to get all the money for Call of Duty Modern Politics. Indeed. But yeah, game sounds can really hit you, yeah, because they're just like hitting a library, and that's one of the things. Like, instead of yes, it was from Audio Network, so that's why I don't use music from Audio Network stuff in my things because what ends up happening is news reports, like news websites, will use that music and then copyright their material and then lay claim to that song because it's part of their broadcast, which they don't have any rights to, and then go after people that use it. I tend to use music from YouTube's like music that you can just use because that doesn't trip content ID. So I often just use that. I love the few games that have stream remote options. Indeed, Lord Crashington. And options that aren't just like interface options, that are also like no background stuff or lowered or whatever. That is helpful. All right, let's take a pause for the cause, folks. You all are great. Yeah, Brazilian network demonetized NASA videos. Yes. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. Like, just people like show clips and then say they're the original. Somebody took one of my panels from Twitch and uploaded it before I could. And because they put it on YouTube before I couldn't say that it was mine. Because generally, one of the easiest ways to say it is time codes of when material was put up. And technically, I don't own my panels. Twitch owns my panels. Twitch PAX, PAX's Twitch account owns my panels. Or PAX does, or Twitch does. But I certainly don't own Improvised Postmortem. The content that is provided, that hour of content, is not mine. So if someone puts it up, so that's why I always put it up on Twitch as fast as I can, and I ask Giant Bomb. You will not see my stuff on Giant Bomb Unarchived. I've asked them not to put my panels up because they will put it up before I can, and like they'll put up the League of Heels like Twitch archive up, and we're it's going to take us more than like a few minutes to put up the good video. So we asked for them to not to do that. I was like, I just it would be great if you didn't put my panels up. I'm going to. Don't worry, they will be archived. Uh, all right. First and foremost, you could be like Christian and throw the bear cave and the Lego emote in the chat. If you're a subscriber, you can throw the emotes in there. Thank you so much for watching. We got, hey, when we started, I didn't think anyone was going to be watching tonight. We had a low numbers here. We got a good crew of folks watching the stream right now. Thank you very much. We are going till 8 p.m. Eastern, so thanks for being here right now as we build this race car. Thank you for subscribing. Reminder, Twitch Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, you link it with Twitch. You can become a subscriber that way. You can also use Cash Money to become a subscriber if you want to do it that way. You can gift people subs. That's a nice way of doing that. Say thank you to a random viewer by putting up some there. That would be fun. That would be cool. Hey, what's up, Sexton Wiki? Thank you for being here. For folks that, some of y'all don't love chatting, and I understand that, and I'm okay with that, as you know. I also have a Patreon. That's another way to support the stream. You can support for as little as $1. If $5 a month doesn't work for you, and you want to support me on Patreon for literally $1, you get a Q&A video once a month that I make just for Patreon, and you get updates of my streaming schedule. I'm going to put a video up there on Monday, or not video, a post on Monday, because my schedule next week is weird. So I'm going to put that up. So that's like another option. Another option, if you want to support the channel and you don't feel like becoming a member, you don't want to join a club, you don't want cool emotes, or you don't want to be on Patreon, you could buy something on Amazon for me. I have a wish list. I put it in the chat. It'll be in the show description on YouTube as well. We've got some Lego kits that are inexpensive, like the Mr. Freeze Bat Cycle that looks fun. Some one-piece boats that would be fun to do. It would be fun to do Garp's Marine ship and build that dog. Some real grade, some master grades, cheap kits, expensive kits, a whole bunch of different stuff. I put a Lego Harry Potter up that's definitely expensive, but it also features the Weasley's car. You can stick it in a tree, and I just think that's funny. So I was like, I'm putting that on the wish list. That was funny to me. So, yeah, a bunch of different things. And the whole deal is, you buy it, it comes to me in the mail, I build it on stream. As soon as I get it, whenever I'm done, when I'm done with the kit I'm working on, it becomes the kit on deck, and I put that together. I will be buying something at New York Comic Con. I don't know what I'm going to buy. I haven't looked to see what they have. I won't know what they have on Sunday. They got some kind of scavenger hunt, but I'm only going to be on the show floor on Sunday because I'm working off-site hours that conflict with the show floor. So unless I get a really long break and it's worth it to run over, I'm not going to do that. I've got also, if you're like, Pat, I want to buy you a model kit, but not on Amazon. I'm not buying you anything on Amazon. You can go to USA Gundam store and buy something for me there. You buy a gift card. You then whisper me here on Twitch or DM me, because my DMs are open on Twitter, and send me the gift card code, and then I will use that money to buy a model kit. They have sales all the time. They send me emails every other day. USA Gundam store wants me to know that there is a 15% off weekend sale right now for pre-orders. If you want to pre-order the Perfect Strike Gundam, Perfect Grade, that's a very expensive kit. You could pre-order that and save money on the pre-order. Or the full armor Gundam from Gundam Thunderbolt, the Master Grade. There, they just got that back in a restock. They tell me literally almost every day about the sales they have going on there. So that's another option if that's something you'd like to do. Um, Also, anything I make from Twitch, Patreon, eventually I'll get payout on YouTube in like another year. Um, or my coffee, or my Streamlabs, or my PayPal. Anything that comes through there goes to me buying kits. Equipment, but I haven't needed equipment in a while, and I've been pretty good about that. Um, so, yeah. Somebody bought me the Chibi Super Deformed Zaku 2 and Crossbone Gundam. Somebody bought those. They have not arrived. Uh, and then also someone bought. Let's see. Yeah, though somebody bought me the Kiki's Delivery Service papercraft kit. It says, and I never got it, which is a bummer. So if you've bought me something and I haven't talked about it on stream, you should check in because they have not arrived. I know somebody else bought me something, but that was only a couple days ago, so it it makes sense that it hasn't arrived yet. I forget what that was. Somebody bought me something on the wish list and said it was coming in a couple days, and it has not arrived yet. But that is, I think, due to uh uh not what am I saying? I think that is due to it just being a couple days ago they sent it. And I think it was coming from Japan, so I think that's what it was. But yeah, there are a couple things in there that are in like my soul that I don't remember. I don't know. They just haven't arrived, which is annoying. All right. I'll mention my Discord. We'll get back to building. I know people kind of trail off there. I got a Discord. You should join that if you'd like to do that. Let's get back to building. Now that people have pieced out because I talked too much about ways to support the stream. It's fine. I understand. And then background and characters is a comedy thing I do that you can check out. I'll put a link right there. It's all in the show description. I'm going to talk about some anime, and I'm going to continue to build some Lego. So it's now time to talk about anime. First and foremost, let's talk about Mob Season 2 OVA. Mob Psycho Season 2. First of all, Mob Psycho Season 2 was incredible. If you missed it this year, get back into it. It was really good. Now, the OVA. Good. I said this earlier in the stream. It's like a very good Season 1 episode and a pretty good Season 2 episode. Only because Season 2 was so exceptional that it was like it was fine. Now, OVAs, obviously, are generally meant to help boost Blu-ray sales these days. They are extras because the numbers don't work out for per disc or whatever. They are a way to entice people to buy later discs if the show didn't necessarily do great or whatever. So they are often like maybe whole cloth new ideas, filler things. They could be based on bonus manga chapters that weren't part of the light novel or weren't part of the manga originally. This one, they go to a hot springs, an onsen, because some mystical things might be happening. It is set. They're on the cheap side, generally, Christian. You're right. They're often inexpensive because they are home design. So they go to an onsen. It's the dudes. Obviously, there aren't a lot of female. There are some, but not a lot of female characters in Mob. And so it's an onsen episode without fan service. It's not fan service. And that is refreshing. Compare that to the OVA for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is heavily fan serviced and my least favorite episode of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. They go to like a lake with sand there, and it's exploitative and annoying and gross. And yeah, like I said, my least favorite one Uh, this one was fun. It was a nice little thing. I think uh, the idea of giving a shut-in who is trying to re-enter the workforce business cards is such a little thing of like he knows, Rengen knows that this guy is really going to appreciate these business cards. Uh, yeah, Serizawa, who was definitely manipulated, right? Um, he was a bad guy that was just, just too nice, um, and too trusting, and being used. And now he's one of the good guys, and he's pretty capable as far as psychics go. So he's like a good person to have on the team. Yeah, Rengen is the worst and the shit at the same time, which is like a really tough line. Um, like at first, the Rengen focused episode was one of my least favorite of season 2, but by the end, I was like, okay. And there were parts of season 1 where I was like, I don't like this dude. But the fact that Mob is like always known and is just like, yeah, this is your way of helping. Like, yeah, that meant a lot. It went a long way. Uh, and of course, the climax of season 1 with Rengen being fucking dope as hell via Mob's psychic energy is still incredible to this day. Still just a fucking kick-ass moment of the show. One of the best moments of the show, by far. Yeah, he wants to help people, and he wants to do it in his way, and he also, is a bullshitter, certainly, but, doing his thing, making it happen. Yeah, and then he survives, does his thing. In this episode, he uh, he gives a woman prayer pills, which are just it's just cold medicine, because there's a reason, and I won't get into why, but he's doing it, one, because he's like ah ha ha, and two, he's doing it because she's more likely to believe him that they're prayer pills than just like, hey, if you get a cold, bad things will happen. Like, she's not gonna believe that. So he's like, I gotta mystic this up. Yes. Uh, Similarly to how Mob grows as a person and grows and becomes more than he is by the end of season 2, Rengen doesn't. I don't know if Rengen grows. He grows on you. I don't know if he changes, but just like you get more information and you get more understanding of why this is a pretty good dude. Pretty solid dude. Anyway, the OVA for season 2 is fun. I like it. Some good interactions. I would have loved a little bit more with Mob and his brother, just because I really like their interpersonal relationship. Uh, I think it's fun, so I would have liked a little bit more of that. But whatever. It was also I just need more of those characters, right? It was also like a bunch of characters, and they were all together, so it was nice. Uh, oops. Uh, God damn it! Someone just sent me. Sorry, somebody sent me more tech for their show tonight, which is fine, but also means that I have to like update stuff after this. So I'm just annoyed. Uh, so hold on a second. I just have to type. Uh, Run the songs. I have them. People are like, hey, here's a last minute thing. Also, here's a demand. And it's just like, maybe not. Uh, they had to show, yeah, his dynamic with the crew. I totally agree with you. Yeah, and I think it was a good dynamic, and it was a fun interaction. I was happy about it. Demon Slayer came out today. This was the end of the season for Demon Slayer, which is a very solid show and is really good. Uh, Demon Slayer I kind of slept on because it was a slow build last season. It took a little while to get where it is. Um, it was a double season show. It is now on hiatus, but they were setting up for what people assume to be the next arc, which would be a uh, a seat in the next season. But it is reality the movie. Yes, they announced a movie. The next now it I'm not 100% clear on this, but it seems like the next part of the story will be an in canon movie, uh, which is a cool thing and so rare and weird to have like a movie be totally considered canon. Uh, so that's cool. That's very cool and weird. Uh, um, and yeah, and it's the flame dancer guy, the flame breath guy, who seems pretty cool. Um, yeah, but that episode was really fun because it's like the transition to the next arc. It's characters interacting. It is people having like some very touching, nice moments. That was really cool. I did miss a piece. I have to put on this here, so I have to pull these pieces off. I missed a piece, and now I got to put a piece on. When did I miss that piece? Oh, it was that part. Okay. Um, the Flame Pillar. Yes, they took a page of the Dragon Ball Super book. Yeah, I think so. Or like, Shiki is not directly like. It's weird. There's a a One Piece movie that is generally considered canon because the character is mentioned in the manga a bunch and is a character in the world. It's just only has been portrayed in the movie. So he's like, it's a weird like mixed match. And then sometimes they take movie stuff and then incorporate it into into the shows, even if you don't hear about them. So it's like not. It looks like that's what it's going to be, and that's cool. But the episode itself was really fun. It starts with just like some just real nastiness of the demons, uh, and a bunch of people that no one cares about just being like, meh. Apparently, the My Hero Academia movies are canon. I did not know that. Huh. I wonder if we'll ever see that uh, that bracer that he was using come back into play, because that would be fucking very helpful for his punches. I didn't know they were canon. Huh. That's interesting. I'm all for that. I know that like accessibility is a thing, especially for international audiences. Like that can be a problem, but in my opinion, like if a show is canon or a movie is canon, that's just more to enjoy and less like a what if. That sounds cool. Um, but yeah, episode was really strong and solid. And then there's a really simple, silly thing where two of the three main characters don't know what a fucking train is because they're from the country, or literally in one case the mountains. Yes, Christian. That episode was really heavily animated, really well done. The MC Escher style like movement and rooms was very cool. And then also there is a line that is said in it that is my new favorite scene. Uh, Master Zenitsu, who is the Thunder uh, guy and a goofy character, generally, please try to learn how to be considerate and respectful of girls, says the three weird girls that work at the Demon Slayer core facility. Uh, they're just like, he's like, you'll miss me, right? And they're like, Hey, please try to learn how to be considerate and respectful of girls. And it's pretty great. Yeah, I mean, it was just like I just loved it because it was just like, hey, you're the guy who loves women but like doesn't actually treat them great or as equals or respectfully. You love the concept of women. Hey, quit being a weirdo. Yeah. Hey, please acknowledge what you the choices you make and the effects they have of them. When you were really psyched about us uh stretching you out, which is painful because we were touching you, that was creepy and weird. I thought that was the name of a new anime for a sec. Uh I could totally see an episode of an anime being uh Master Zenitsu, please try and learn how to be considered respectful of girls. That's a light novel waiting to be made. That guy literally tried to kidnap her. Yes. Yeah. He is it is played for comedy, but he needs to fucking the fact that they even included the admission that the show knows that this isn't cool and it's just played for laughs, even though it's just played for laughs, it still isn't cool. Like that's nice that they at least took a moment to acknowledge, hey dude. Hey dude. Um that was good. It was a good part of it. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Uh Dr. Stone. A good last episode. Uh, or not last episode, because this show is continuing. It was a good end of this thing, like cliffhanger moment, because the show is going to continue, because it's like a 24 or 26 episode arc. Uh, Action was really strong. They gave weight in a way that I was really happy about, because the whole thing is that like uh, Senku hasn't been allowed in the village. He gets to come in because he's competing in the tournament for like the new leader. Um, so he gets to step foot in, and like he makes a big deal about it, and they all kind of make a big deal of like, okay, we did this shit. Like now it's all about fighting. And you get to see some characters like scheme a little bit, and like some of the characters that haven't really interacted too much together get to interact, which is pretty nice. Uh, and then I knew it was coming because the name of the episode was like the masked hero or whatever. So I knew something was coming. But our little melon friend, it's her time to shine. And she fucking shines. And it fucking rules. It is great. It is a great moment. Her sudden acknowledgement that the fighting dude can't see too well, and that's his problem, is fucking rad as hell. In the moment where he's like, oh wait, science is helping. Something weird is going on with the priestess. Yeah, there's a thing where like she knows about last names, and that seemed weird. Um, and it's wondering like, is that because someone else came to the village and told her about it, or was she revived, and that's why she's in poor health because she was revived, like they were. So she's like she knows about that stuff. That was an odd moment, and he literally was just like, I have so many questions now because he's that science brain dude and he's got shit to think about. Um, but yeah, as I said, the more and more I watch it, Christian says I know, but I'm not saying anything. I appreciate that. I have not read Doctor Stone, but so I appreciate you not spoiling. But that show is, yeah, I was a little down on it, but I'm fully back on board. It is a strong writing, strong character work. Uh, all of they acknowledged Ginro's pose at the end. Yes. Uh, yeah, it was a good bit of business. Oh, do I need to? Oops, I gotta do. But yeah, overall, it's a strong episode. Excited for more. The last anime I will talk about is the season finale of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Season 2. So this is a weird thing. First of all, it kind of felt like an episode that happens between mini arcs in a season. This whole season has been very odd because the first mini arc felt like it was, the first mini arc felt like it was going to be longer and then it was over. But yeah, Christian, it felt like good filler. It felt like manga filler. Like in between major chapters, I'm writing this because this is world building and this is character development that I think is good, but I don't have a big story to put it in, so I'm going to put it here. That's what it felt like. It felt good, but it did feel weird. And yeah, it was very sad. Talking about another person who failed to protect his his goddess and the regrets he had about that, and urging Belle not to have regrets, which is it was heavy stuff and it was good stuff, and it was sad, but it was a like last week's episode was like, oh, this army is attacking, oh no, they fell into a ravine. What's going to happen to episode 13? It's like, episode 13, they got saved. They're hanging out in a village. Here's more information about the world and what we know about it. And then here's some kind of thing at the end. Here's what's going to happen next, because this thing appeared. Who knows what this thing is? Literally, who the fuck knows what this thing is? But here it is. It was still a good episode. I still dug it. But yeah, this whole season felt off because the first arc of it felt like it was going to go on much longer and then didn't. And then the second arc ended 2 episodes ago. So I don't know what these last 2 episodes were about, but overall I enjoyed this season of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Season 2. I look forward to more. I know there is more. Let's see. Season 3, I believe, comes out next year, if I remember correctly. The first season's out there. I don't know if the OVA is anywhere legally, but I watched the OVA, and the OVA is kind of fun. It is fan service, but it's good. It's still a pretty fun episode. Third season of the anime and an OVA episode, both announced September. Okay, so the third season starts next summer, not in beginning of next year, literally next July. So a year later, and the OVA will be out in January. That's what I thought. That's where I got January date. So there's an OVA in January, probably for the Blu-ray release. And yeah, okay, I'll watch that OVA. Belle never came through as cold and distant towards Hestia. But the anime really hammered into that shit on this episode. Yeah, I think his distance and his worship of her comes through, and I think in this episode it really does. His fears of her growing. Like, I think last week's episode could have been more about that and less and more about him. Instead of him just saying the wrong thing, which is kind of what it was presented as, it could have been of him like legitimately voicing his concerns and his fears, which we got in this one. And then some sort of declaration of what's up. And they got to see some nice people being nice and having fun and doing their thing. Fun characters in that show. Good support characters. But yeah, I really dug that show. I don't know if it's up there. I'm not sure what my favorite show this season was. It honestly might be Demon Slayer because obviously it was double season, but Demon Slayer was really good. This was really good. It was a good season overall. Uh, I look obviously Ari Forta. There's one more. Disappointed by that. Uh, disappointed. Not disappointed by. It's a guy Cheat Magician and Demon Slayer Retry. They're just not great. Demon Slayer, like I said, it came out of nowhere. It really surprised me. It came out of nowhere to me because didn't really like it last season. But I came to really appreciate it. I think that Black Clover was fucking really strong this season. Really great fights, really great character development. Hey, to the people that renewed their subscription, please put that notification in. Some of you renewed and didn't hit that button to let me know. But thank you for renewing your subscription. Uh, Thank you very much. I just saw that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Demon Slayer was really strong. Yes, Shanks just subscribed with Twitch Prime. That's 2 months. Kind of slow at the beginning, but totally pays off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't super into it because it was slow. Let's throw the Bear Cave in the mode out there. Say thank you for that. Yeah, it took a little while to ramp up, but I really got into it. I think Fire Force turned out to be really strong. Um, that is an ongoing. I mean, it's a shonen show, and it's like there are definitely better shonen out there, but it's pretty strong. And then also the Wano arc from One Piece has been, even the filler has been pretty good. I've been pleasantly surprised by how good the art is in this new arc of One Piece. So that's been great. I am now, as I said, I'm caught up on Fairy Tail just about, and I will be keeping up with that as best I can as they get ready to finish the fight on that story. Just so weird. So many episodes. But I also, that could slip because of all the new stuff coming out. And also, the new season is starting while I am going to be busy with New York Comic Con next week. So I'm going to try my best to keep caught up and not be surprised by new shows. But especially when, like, a show might pop up on Hulu and I didn't notice it, so I might, like Ari Fuerta, I watched the first 2 episodes, and then the next day the third episode came out. I didn't know that show, like, that I would be into the first couple episodes, so I didn't end up watching it because there was, like, so many isekais, but I also didn't know that it was out on Hulu, so I'm going to try to be better about finding out what shows are out there, and watching the ones I can. And people will let me know about the shows they like and the ones they want to see or they want to hear me talk about. Because it's always nice when people let me know. This is a pretty cool car. Put some stuff on there. We're getting close to the end of this car. We will finish up that and then finish the stream basically. Obviously, the thing is, like, with these 3-in-1s, you end up with a lot of extra pieces. Like, the boat had so many extra pieces, obviously, because it also had the car pieces, so that certainly had plenty of extra pieces in it. Which makes sense. Alright, we'll do this twice. Let's do our car. But yeah, I'm excited for the new season, for new anime stuff. I didn't watch Fruits Basket. Oh, hey, Harold. Happy to have you here, friends. Welcome, welcome. Excited about Fruits Basket. To watch later. Harold, thank you for hosting. We are close to being done. We got another, like, 10 minutes or so, but I do appreciate you, as always. But yeah, I'm going to, I'll have One Piece and Ari Fuerta and Fruits Basket to talk about on Monday. Better late than never. Not Grind Style says, oh, man, I'm late. Yeah, I mean, I did an early stream, so I apologize. I tried to get the word out there. I picked up a shift at the theater that I work at part-time. So I decided that I was going to do an early stream instead of doing another day. Because I'm not working tomorrow night, but I'm going to go do a thing tomorrow night. There is a new action figure for the Death Scythe. Mr. Bob, yes, I am aware of that. that there is, yeah, there's uh, a new Death Scythe action figure coming out. Yeah. Um, Believe me, I saw it and went, wait, is that? Oh. Now it's cool because action figures are rad, but I want it to be an. I want a high grade of the Death Scythe Hell, not the Death Scythe Hell custom, the Death Scythe Hell, the second incarnation. I want a high grade. I want a master grade of that, or a perfect grade of the Death Scythe Hell custom, because that's the one you should do. Is read. They would do the Death Scythe as a perfect grade, not the Hell custom, but I would want the Hell custom as my perfect grade. That would be great for me. That would be a thing that I would want. Was trying to start watching Cannon Busters, but got sidetracked pretty quickly. I wish more anime had subtitles for the had subs for the English dub. Oh yeah, could see that. Um, uh, yeah, I mean sometimes that just happens, right? It's just like they're like, oh, we dubbed it, but we're not gonna like close caption it, even though we have the language for it already. We have the text. All right, I'm gonna race car. All right, so on Monday, on Monday, I assume I will work on the Go tanks, figurized Go tanks, because that's what I have next to build. Um, if somebody wants to buy something off my Amazon wish list, uh, I think there's something coming for my wish list. If something arrives on Monday, I will build that instead. Um, because I uh, understand that not everybody wants to uh, watch that or whatever. I get that, but I'm excited to build it. So yeah, those are on my wish. That's the agenda is working on Super Saiyan Go tanks. Um, there is some cool stuff involved with it. Um, so I'm hoping that people enjoy that because I have it has the weird when they fused, they made these weird like ghost versions of them. Apparently that's in it. So I'm excited to work on that. I just gotta see if in the purchase if I see anything that appeared that anyone bought that is not currently on my wish list to see if that showed up. And I don't see anything right now. I don't think that anybody bought anything on my wish list, but yeah. So that's the next thing. Happy to build it. It should be fun. Um, Looks like a cool kit. But yeah. So we built this. This should fit in the box. Let's find out if this fits in the box. Because I think it will. And it does. Nice and easy in the box. That's great. The main car might have fit as well, but it looked like it might be too tall. So yeah. And a bunch of extra pieces. Oh, sending Lego sets in the mail is so much easier than anything else. Speaking of which, on Monday, also working on Go tanks, but also on Monday will be the last build stream of the month. So I will pick a winner, and that winner will receive, which maybe answers your question, not grind style, will receive a set, a model. What am I sending out? My voice got all weird there. The Buster Gundam. So what I do is, not ground style, is the last stream of the month, I pick a name from my current subscriber list. So any subscriber is eligible. One of those subscribers will win a kit I built on the stream in the past as a thank you. And I send them a message and get a shipping address and mail it out. There are some kits that I have displayed in the past. Those are either Death Scythes, which I keep my Death Scythes because they're my favorite kit, my favorite Gundam, and then some pretty big Lego sets that just that don't fit in the box and would be a real pain to send out to people. so I don't send those. But my goal is to eventually mail out everything that I've built. Like I said, there are a few that I've made the decision, like Death Sights, um, the Lego U-Wing, the Gundam Thunderbolt Zaku. There are two kits that I cannibalized for the kit that we did, the our kit bash kit, so I obviously can't send those out. Um, I'm also not going to send out Optimus Prime because that kit sucks. And I don't want you to have that kit. It's bad. My little choppers, I'm keeping those. Uh, but yeah, I'm not sending that out. But yeah, I have built a lot of kits uh, over my time. Yeah, the Grimgard. I took apart the Grimgard, so I'm not sending that out. And the Lego Garmadon, which is the big tank, it is the big mech that is also a shark. Like that kit is so big and beautiful that I'm keeping that forever. But most kits I do send out so that people can enjoy them in the future. That is the hope that they will enjoy them. Um, and that is going to do it for our stream. I am going to be able to relax a little bit before I have to go into work. I have to download some music for my job, so I'm going to quickly do that right now. Uh, so I will go and do that. Thank you all, everybody who's watched the stream. Thank you for your continued support. It does mean so much to me that you all watch and chat and subscribe and tell your friends. I'll be back on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, to build or work on our figurized Go Tanks, which is the form Goten and Trunks. Harold just cheered on the way out, which is a nice way to say goodbye. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Saturday or whatever day it is. Goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.